Greetings everyone and welcome to a brand new episode of All Things Lambda, the community show that puts unity in community. Okay, I'm pretty proud of that one. But we're not here for that corniness, we're here for the Half-Life community news. So let's get started on that.
LambdaGeneration.
Lost Industry Origins, the prequel to the Lost Industry series of mods, has posted a brand new media update over on their ModDB page. It's a pretty small one, but any update is welcome, especially because we haven't really heard from the team in about 2 months. In this update, they explain how the mapping for the mod is going, and it's going pretty smoothly, despite Paradise being the only person doing mapping work right now. There's also talk about switching engine versions to one that includes PBR, advanced lighting and such that was developed for this mod. The article also boasts about there being 145 custom voice lines recorded for the mod. Some of those are from me. Yeah, I'm in this thing. 2 new music composers have also joined the team, and last but not least, we're left off with some pretty neat screenshots from some sort of train yard and some graphical effects. Now, when Lost Industry Origins will be out is still unknown, but if I can take anything away from the optimistic tone and what they said about the mapping progress earlier on, we can safely assume it won't take much longer for the mod to release. I've seen some in-production stuff before, and I gotta say that it's starting to look pretty darn good. If you want to read this article for yourself, then check the description below for a link. It's been a little while since we last covered Starlight. Starlight is a Half-Life mod that takes the game and completely throws it out of the window in favor of a new aesthetic experience. I still think this is probably one of the best Gold Source games ever on art direction alone. The mod's developer, Jane Thrace, has recently uploaded a new video onto YouTube that shows off a neat feature that the game has. And that feature is the passing of time. In some levels within Starlight, you'll be able to find these street clocks that have the ability to tell you the time. This is done so that playing through the campaign actually gives you a feeling of time passing. Now, of course, you can obviously tell the difference between night and day, but everything in between is always a question, and these clocks are here to answer that question. Now, I think it's a cool concept, and it adds a little bit more interactivity to the maps. I'm a person who loves to explore areas, so this would definitely give me an incentive to go look through the entirety of the map to look for them. Anyway, if you'd like to see this video for yourself, then check the link out in the description below. The Half-Life Alyx modding community is getting more and more ambitious every month. People get more familiar with the tools and ideas start brewing. That together with the worldwide pandemic that grants many people a lot more time at home, and you'll start to see why the Half-Life Alyx modding scene rapidly gets more advanced. We're now even to a point where an entire custom campaign is being created within Half-Life Alyx, and this campaign is called Anti-Citizen. In this custom campaign, you play as Percy, a resistance member who, together with his buddy Lenny, has to face off against the Combine. Now, this custom campaign is nowhere near completion yet, as the slated release date is set to somewhere in 2021. But what we do have right now is a custom weapon from the campaign that made it onto the Half-Life Alyx workshop. And guess what? It's the USP Match from Half-Life 2. You can download that gun right now and use it in-game. I believe it replaces the standard pistol. This is the only content currently out for Anti-Citizen. There is no ModDB page or anything like that. Only a Twitter page is up right now with some pics of a Metro cop with his brains exposed. Yummy! Apart from the Twitter page, there's also a Discord server which you can join. A link for that can be found on their Twitter page. And that Twitter page is also linked down below in the description. Did you count how many times I just said Twitter page? Anti-Citizen isn't the only custom campaign mod that is being made though. Half-Life Stasis is also entering the room with its pretty interesting premise. You play as Gordon Freeman and you're trapped in G-Man's Stasis dimension. The trailer that was already released for it looks pretty amazing. I'm quite intrigued by the setting as well. I'm not sure if G-Man's Stasis dimension was ever touched upon by mod creators yet. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. Just like Anti-Citizen, the full campaign is not out yet, but there is actually an entire map here that you can play in. The map is called Gordon's Train, and it allows you to play around with zero-gravity physics for a bit, as well as explore the home base that Gordon set up for himself while being trapped in there. If you would like to know more about this campaign, then keep an eye out on developer Ryan Wilhelm's YouTube channel. There you can also find the piece of music that was created for the trailer. It's linked down below. Music is great, isn't it? It's especially great when a mod has its own music in it. It really finishes the whole package. The folks over at Tripmine Studios think the same way. Probably, as they have been sharing pieces of the soundtrack for their games over time, and they're usually pretty epic. This time though, we get a piece of the soundtrack for Operation Black Mesa, and it's the main theme no less. It clocks in at almost 6 minutes long and sounds like an epic opening to an epic adventure. It includes some orchestral bits here and there while featuring a sound that closely resembles Joel Nielsen's work for Black Mesa. This piece of music is composed by Lono Films and can be found on their YouTube channel. I left a link directly to the piece in the description below. Go and listen to it. It certainly has been a while since we last featured Half-Life Year of the Dragon. A new media update hasn't been released since the beginning of this, interesting year filled with unfortunate events, but does that mean that the progress has halted on the mod? Hell no! Magic Nipples has shared an abundance of content with the world over on his Twitter page, showing that Spyro is still happily roaming around the Black Mesa research facility and its many developer rooms. Spyro has also finally gotten a little bit less naked. He now sports a HEV suit of his own, so he now has the proper protection needed to handle anomalous materials. Or maybe he just likes wearing it because it looks stylish as hell. We'd need to ask Spyro himself. Anyway, if you want to keep in touch with the development of Half-Life Year of the Dragon, then please go follow Magic Nipples on Twitter. That's currently the best way to stay in touch. It's linked down below. Magic Nipples, huh? Our social media pages, of course. Our Discord server is also worth joining. There are a lot of people on there, so if you want to talk about cheese, you can join that server. Oh, and Half-Life related content as well. We do have an off-topic channel, I believe, so yeah. Go check it out. And of course, I'm going to ask you to check out my stuff as well. My YouTube channel and Twitter are linked down below in the description, so please go check them out. The content I make might be worth looking at if you like Half-Life stuff or video game stuff in general. Go have a look. And that's it. That's episode 114 of All Things Lambda. Don't be too sad though, because we'll be back next week with another brand new episode of your favorite community show. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and to ring that bell icon so you'll never miss another episode. Salutations, and take care.